Okay guys, so lesson 20 is a mini project. It's a side scroller, so I'm not going to do this for you, but I am going to walk you through it. So let's read the question of the day. How can the new types of sprite movement and collision detection be used to create a game? Okay, so let's move on to exercise 2, and we're also probably going to open up lesson 19 in a new tab. Exercise 2 is demonstrating, I think, frog jump. This frog jump game is an example of a side scroller. Okay, side scroller. So see how these things are moving to the side. Side scrolling games have backgrounds that move across the screen from side to side. In this game, the player uses the up arrow to make the frog jump. The frog must avoid the mushrooms while trying to get the flies. Every fly scores 1 point, and hitting the mushroom makes the player health go down. When the player's health hits 0, the game is over. Play the game a few times and discuss it with your partner. You have already learned all the skills you need to code this game. You'll be making your own side scroller in this mini project. Okay, cool. So let's move on. So exercise 3, draw your background. The sample game had a simple background of a blue sky, a white oval cloud, and a brown ground. You can choose to make your background as simple or complicated as you want. Find the comment background. So in the draw loop, right up top. See guys, look at these comments. They're telling you where to put your code. So background, find the comment, use the drawing tools to draw your background. So you're going to go into drawing and you're going to drag a background block right here to line 13. Okay. Once you do that, change the color of the background, add whatever other shapes or drawings you want to your background. Okay. That's all you need to do for exercise 3. Okay, so creating your sprites, this is exercise 4. This can be a little tricky. So I am going to walk through this with you just a little bit. So you'll need a player, the frog, a target, the fly, and an obstacle, the mushroom. You can make them anything you want. So guys, you don't need a player, you don't need the frog, the fly, and the mushroom. You can change it to different things. And I'm going to open up exercise 2. You can literally recreate exactly what they do in exercise 2 if you want. So let's say that is what you want to do. Oh, all right. They already give you that. Okay. So look, they already give you all the sprites. They're pre-made. So go to the animation tab and make sure that you have the images that you want. So if you want to change them, you go in here and change the sprites to something else you want. The frog, the mushroom, and the fly are already there, but you can use whatever images you want. Find the code comment, game setup. So again, this is in the draw loop. I didn't see the comment. Game setup. Oh, okay, it's right here. It's the first few lines. Create your 3 sprites, the player, the target, and the obstacle. So guys, I'm going to drag these 2 blocks here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste them 2 more times so that we have 3 different setups for our sprites. Okay, so now we have 3 setups. And the first one we'll name frog. Frog. And do the same thing for mushroom and fly. Okay. So I paused the video and I finished typing in what I needed to for mushroom and then what I needed to for fly. Okay. So scale each one to the size you want. Let's see if they pop up. Okay, so now these are already pretty much scaled for us, so we don't need to change the scale. Place them where you want them to be on or off the screen. Oh, okay, so we do need to do that. Okay, let's think about this. And luckily I opened up number 2 in a new tab. So frog is pretty much dead center at about 180, 320, 180x, 320y. So let's change that. 180x 320y, and let's see if that's what we prefer. Yeah, that's about it. So flies and the mushrooms they're moving. So okay, on or off the screen. Okay, yeah. So the fly and the mushroom are going to be off the screen. So I guess let's put those at like 400x or maybe 450x. So we'll put 450x for the mushroom, and we'll just leave the y value at 200. You know what? No, we want the mushroom to be low. So we'll change the y value to 320 for the mushroom. And for the fly, we'll leave that at 200. So now the fly and the mushroom are somewhere over here. That's okay if you can't see them. Set the starting x velocity of the target and the obstacle. So what do they refer to as the target? The fly, and the obstacle, the mushroom. Okay. So we need to set the x velocity for the mushroom. And type. Let's just go with 5 just to start. And we got to do it for the fly as well. And we'll make the fly a little slower, I guess. Because I don't think, if both of them are the same speed, that seems like it might be. Oh wait, we want it to be negative, so it goes to the left. And that's why they're not coming up here right now. Now that I'm making it negative, it should come across the screen. Yep. Okay, and the reason this is, I hope you can figure out why this is happening. I'm not going to tell you. Hopefully you'll think about it. Test your program. The player should be on the screen, and the target and obstacle should start off the screen and move across the screen from right to left. The obstacle and target sprites should always move at the same speed. You only need to set a velocity for each sprite one time. You can do this outside the draw loop. So the reason I'm having this trouble with this animation is because I didn't set a background, okay? So let's set a background. Light blue. Cool. All right, so we're done with exercise 4. Okay, so player controls. The up arrow should make the player jump. There are 3 parts to jumping. Jumping up when a key is pressed, going down when you're high enough, and don't fall through the ground. Do this. Find the comment jumping and read the 3 comments in that section. Jumping, okay, I just went by it. Okay, so there are 3 comments. If the player has reached the ground, stop moving down. So we're going to put that code right here. If the player presses the up arrow, start moving up. We'll put that here. And if the player reaches the top of the jump, start moving down. So honestly, I don't know how to do this off the top of my head. I'm going to open lesson 19 in a new tab. So click on more here, and then you're going to find lesson 19. So I scrolled down in this menu to lesson 19, and now I'm just going to open up a random exercise. I'm just guessing that exercise 4 on lesson 19 will help me out, because I'm pretty sure we were doing this in lesson 19. I actually made a mistake. The sample we want to pull from is lesson 18, exercise 8. This is where the soccer ball is going back and forth, and it's bouncing at a certain point. So that's where, if the player has reached the ground, stop moving down. And we will not want him to bounce, so we'll have to figure that out. But if the player presses the up arrow, start moving up. If the player reaches the top of the jump, start moving down. That's what we'll use this for, because when it reaches the top, we're going to have it move back down, just like that. So, okay, find the comment. We did that. Add a conditional that checks whether the player has pressed the up key. That's what we'll put right here. So those are the if statements. If key down, up. If the key up is pressed, use the velocity y property to start the player sprite moving up. Okay, so they're actually, these hints are actually pretty much giving us the answers. So sprite velocity y. Okay, what's the name of the sprite? Frog. And I think, does negative make them move up? I think so. So -5. Test your code to see whether the sprite goes up. Okay. Cool. Yes, it does. Add a conditional that uses the sprite's y property to check whether it is high enough. If it is far enough up the screen, start the sprite moving back down. So let's say if you look down here, that's about y 50. So if y is less than 50, we'll have the velocity be positive. Okay, so we're going to put that code right here. If sprite.y. Oh, I think we're going to need an operator first. Less than. So hopefully you're thinking about this as I do it. Whoops, I don't know what just happened. Hopefully you're thinking about this and not just copying, because you don't learn from just copying. Think about why I'm doing this. I'm putting in a less than operator, and we're checking the sprite's y property because we want it so that when the sprite's y value is less than 50, we want them to start moving down. And instead of doing a negative velocity y like we did right here on line 37, we're going to make it a positive y velocity. So look, hopefully he'll shoot back down. Yep, okay, cool. So we did that, but now we need to finish this comment. If the player has reached the ground, stop moving down. Add a conditional to check whether the sprite is low enough on the screen to be on the ground. If it is far enough down the screen, stop the sprite. Test to make sure the sprite does not go through the ground at the end of the jump. So I remember me personally having trouble with this in the past. I think we're just going to set the velocity to 0, but we need the if statement. If sprite dot, I think greater than, I guess we'll do. If sprite dot y frog dot y is greater than y, let's say 3. Well, we want it to, let's see what it's, excuse me. The beginning y value is 320. So let's just say if frog.y is greater than, we'll give it some space, 321. That's when we'll set the y velocity to 0 because we want it to stop moving. So let's test this out. Great. Okay, it worked. All right, I'm going to stop the video here and make a second part to this video.